This is not a volcano. It's a pile of loose waste generated by giant machines. You can see the pile takes on a perfect cone shape, as is common with loose structures. While volcanic ash and lava are rich in silica, this mound consists of ground silicon and chemical waste from industrial activities. These chemicals sometimes react, even burning, much like how compost can ignite through spontaneous combustion. Take a look at this Google satellite map of the world's ocean floors with no water. What do you see? I see scratches and scarring and heavy mining that occurred. The evidence of ancient mining is scattered all over the planet. But did you know the Ring of Fire, home of 75% of the world's volcanoes, is one of the most heavily mined regions, where trenches like the Mariana Trench, the deepest on Earth, reveal scars from intense industrial activity. It's interesting that in my previous video, I showed how Hollywood gave us a glimpse of this lost history through the movie Avatar. And James Cameron, the director, has a fascination with the Mariana Trench, diving into the deepest parts of the Earth. The largest underwater volcano, Tamu Massif, is situated near these trenches, and mining in this region has left behind 452 ocean waste piles. But it doesn't stop there. What we see as cliffs, valleys, and mountains are often the remnants of excavation sites. Take a look. This is called a cuttlefish excavator, the world's largest excavation machine, and is an ancient artifact or device often featured in pseudo-archaeology, suggesting advanced technology existed in ancient times. The cuttlefish was used for excavation or mining purposes, and to extract resources from the earth. Structures like Australia's wave rock, often considered a natural wonder, are the result of rotary excavation machines. Even ancient depictions like those in pre-Spanish pottery from Costa Rica show mythical creatures that resemble the cuttlefish. Imagine being in an ancient civilization and seeing this massive machine for the first time. You may think it's a giant creature of some sort as well. The cuttlefish excavator mines and scrapes the land and rock, creating this wave-like pattern. And we see this throughout our world, just like Australia's famous wave rock. Tula, the ancient Toltec capital, displays carvings of beings in what appear to be metallic suits, equipped with tools resembling saws, long before metal was supposedly discovered. These artifacts are proof that our understanding of history has been manipulated. Valleys and cliffs are nothing more than quarries, where enormous chunks of land were excavated. The Grand Canyon, Lake Louise, and even Scotland's Highlands are all examples of quarries that shape the land we know today. Quarries are found everywhere. The Caspian Sea, for example, is a flooded quarry. Deserts like the Sahara are immense quarry waste heaps. Australia is a giant quarry with little remaining soil, just red dust, the residue of silicon mining. Sand itself is silicon dioxide, or fine silicon dust, left behind from the cutting down of silicon trees, just like sawdust from carbon trees. Amber, or fossilized tree resin, frequently washes up along the shores of the Baltic Sea, where 90% of the world's amber is found. Its presence in such large quantities is another byproduct of the mining of Earth's massive silicon trees. Did you know that trees communicate through their roots via underground networks, using slow-pulsing electrical signals? Beneath the surface, there are entire cave systems filled with colossal crystals. They told us these caves were formed from water erosion, but then why do they contain such massive crystals in such abundance? Because these aren't caves at all, but the severed root systems of the ancient majestic giant silicon trees. Take a look at the rivers of the world from above. What do you notice? They resemble excavated tree roots, and that's because they are. These rivers trace the pathways of the roots from the giant trees that once dominated our Earth. Many river systems today are actually the flooded remnants of the cut-off root systems of ancient silicon trees. It's no coincidence that many of these giant tree stumps are located in national parks and on protected lands. These areas are shielded and protected from excavation, preventing us from discovering the roots still attached to these structures. Like I mentioned in the previous video, silicon is the second most abundant element in the Earth's crust, right after oxygen. And it closely resembles carbon in structure. Scientists have even theorized that silicon-based life is in fact possible. When silicon interacts with oxygen, it forms quartz. Just as carbon-based trees exist, there were once silicon-based trees, towering to immense heights and composed primarily of crystals, much like quartz. What we call rocks today are actually remnants of these ancient giant trees and other life forms. These stones aren't petrified organisms, but relics from the silicon era. Rocks and stones represent the phase between silicon and carbon life. You see, our Earth was once dominated by silicon-based life, which doesn't require water to grow. Carbon-based life, on the other hand, is dependent on water for survival. Scientists have discovered unusually high amounts of carbon trapped in the polar ice. They told us it was from the Industrial Revolution. However, much of it dates back thousands of years, long before the Industrial Revolution. This carbon couldn't have come from burning fossil fuels. It suggests a massive global fire may have introduced carbon into Earth's environment, shifting it from a silicon-based world. Silicon, which naturally binds to oxygen, is purified using carbon. In the process of mining silicon, they harvested giant silicon trees and burned vast amounts of carbon to purify the element. Our oceans today contain 38,000 gigatons of carbon, yet carbon is scarce in Earth's crust compared to silicon. This suggests that carbon-based life was not Earth's original state. If silicon-based life had remained dominant, we would inhabit a world of stunning beauty. Silicon binds to oxygen 5 times stronger than carbon, giving it a much longer lifespan and making it much more durable. Whereas carbon's weaker bonds and its ability to combine with many other elements makes carbon-based life more fragile, more prone to disease, and with a much shorter lifespan. They came into our world and brought in carbon, using it to oxidize and extract pure silicon from what was once a stunning silicon-based paradise. Our world may have looked incredibly different before, but why destroy the silicon world? Because silicon holds memory, hence why it powers our modern technology, from memory chips to processors. That's why they call this era the Silicon Era, and why the hub of technology is called Silicon Valley.